Back here on the drive, guys, Sactown Sports, 1140. Gonna have the Causinator himself, Duane Causwell, former Sacramento Kings, set to join us here on this Monday afternoon. Just a couple of days away from the NBA draft. Right now, the Sacramento Kings do not have a first-round pick, but according to several reports, the Kings are looking to jump back up in the first round of Wednesday's draft. 916-339-1140. You can hit us up, 916-339-1140. It's my pleasure right now to welcome in former Sacramento Kings legend, played 7 years here in the city of Sacramento. I know him best, Jay.
Here we go.
From watching him in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with the Temple Owls, him and John Chaney and Mark Macon and Mick Kilgore and the boys and Hodge. It's my guy, Duane Causwell. What's up, Duane? Hey, man, you're on with Kyle Draper. I'm from Philly, man. Grew up watching you. I actually went to Temple in 92, so I was there with Eddie and Aaron and all those guys were there, man. Thanks for jumping on with us.
No problem. Glad to have me on.
Hey, Duane, obviously 7 years here in Sacramento, also continued your career down there in Miami. We'll talk about that coming up in a minute. But this is part of our summer sermon series where we check in with Kings legends. What are you up to right now, my man? What's going on in your life right now?
Pretty much, man, just taking it easy. I was doing a little coaching in this little semi-pro league. But, now that's over with, and now I'm just taking it one day by day.
Go ahead, Jay.
I'm gonna say, Kazu, I know you. Once you're a baller, you're always a baller, and you keep your eye on the sport and you watch a little hoop. But how close are you tied to the NBA still?
I'm with the retired players. We still do stuff with the retired players, like when the draft come up. I make most of us go out there to the pre-draft camp when they have us. They invite us out there. Sometimes they usually get the first, former first rounders and stuff like that. So I pretty much stay, ears to it a little bit. Like I say, you can't be too far away, out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah. Duane Causwell joining us. Cause, let's go back to the draft, man. Let's go back to 1990 NBA draft. You're a New York kid, played your college ball in Philly. Sacramento calls your name. What was your first thoughts, man, and what was your thoughts coming to Sacramento?
Man, I tell you, you get the jitters when you hear your name, and then that walk, which was you walking right up there to the podium to meet, the great David Stern. That's just like, everyone's dream at that time. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any steps going up there because I was nervous as heck. But, just to hear your name called, that's just like a dream come true, to be there in the city that's where I'm from. And it was just a great moment. And then to be drafted up, with Lionel, we was, foes and playing against each other in the Big Five and everything. But to get drafted with the same team, that just made the transition even easier to Sacramento. I had my buddy with me, and we had a great time with the four rookies out there.
Joined by Duane Causwell, of course, Sacramento King, great. Duane, you coming from New York, Queens to be exact. I better put some respect on that. But coming from Queens, the mecca of basketball, and having the opportunity to come all the way to the West Coast, just explain the different style of hoop. And as you talk about, you kicking it right now, laid back. I think we're the ultimate laid back state. Talk about coming from that East Coast movement and that hustle and bustle to come to the West Coast.
It took us a minute. Because, like I say, when we was there in Sac, it was fields just like rice fields everywhere. Like Alco Arena was just a big field. And coming from the city, from Philly, New York, coming out there, it was different. But it was, at the same time, it was something that we need, because at that time, when as a rookie, you coming into the NBA, you don't really need a big city. It's already that you enjoying the life already, but to come into a small town that took us right in, and for us to, we took our little lumps. We took our lumps in the beginning, but I tell you what, the fans was always great to us. I still, we all of us still get together. With the rookies, we still get together on our calls. We'll text each other, still talk about Sac to this day.
Oh, man, that's great to hear right there. Kings legend Duane Causwell joining us here on the Drive Guys Sactown Sports 1140. So you're telling me, Duane, you still talk to L Train. You still talk to some of that rookie class that you guys had there. Anthony Bonner, Rick Cal, like you guys still all chopping it up, huh?
We still all talking. Me, AB, we stay in Georgia. Travis Mays come through here a lot, and Lionel will be down here. So we us four rookies, we still keep in contact. Let
me ask you this then. You talked about those lean years, man. How did you guys get through that? And I know you finally broke through and made the playoffs, I think, in your 6th year. How'd you guys stay afloat during that time, man?
Basically, like I said, we just kept hanging in there. You know, we just kept building in with the fans coming out there and supporters. You never could give up, so we just kept fighting. Then we got some real quality vets that came in. Like Mitch was a great pickup. Spud, Dennis Hobson. We started really getting some real players that they knew about Sacramento that wanted to come to Sac. And when those players came, we just did a great thing. You know, we still had Wizard. We had made some good draft picks with Walt Williams, Billy Owens, all those guys. We had mostly was like all Americans coming out of college. Mm-hmm. So once we got a good nucleus under us, and then Brock led us. It just came. But like I tell you, it wasn't fun getting beat. But like I say, at the same time, it was a moment where we enjoyed, because it was just part. It was part of it. You know, we knew we were young. We knew what was going to come. We knew we was going to get spanked on some nights. But just to keep hanging in there, like I said, 7 years is a long time to be with one team, and my 7 years there was great. I mean, I hate that I got injured a couple of times with broken my foot, but the time there in Sacramento was, like I tell everyone now, I love Miami, but there was nothing like Sacramento. Wasn't nothing like Sac.
It's interesting, Duane, because we have guys like yourself, your ilk, who pop on, and we had, 2, 3, 4, Yogi Stewart, Antoine Carr, just last week, a couple other guys. And everybody you ever talk to always say, it's something about Sacramento, the fans playing ball in Sac. It just ain't, it's something that you just don't get in other spots throughout the NBA. Can you quantify that? Can you explain it? Like what makes Sacramento so dope at playing here?
And you know what? I really couldn't tell you. I mean, because like I said, we was like Sac closed at 10. When we was playing, Sac closed at 10 o'clock.
Right.
So it was like really a nightlife. I mean, I maybe left me some nights on the weekend and stay open, but I don't know. I think it's, for one, the players, we have a good nucleus with the players that's there. We enjoy the time that we're there. Like I was a fisherman. I was an outdoorsman. So I was always loving Sac. We had the seasons and everything there. So it's hard to say exactly what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a family, or, town. Maybe it's Orient. It's like a college family town, and you was like the main thing. You was the main in Sacramento. We was the main thing. The Kings was it.
Yeah.
So that was it. And I think that's another reason why it was. The fans loved us, regardless. If we got our butts kicked the night before, they still would be right there the next night. So, I mean, it's hard to say one thing about it, but it was a whole lot of things about it. It was a whole lot, And then, like I tell everyone, I will never forget the times out there.
Duane Causwell joining us. Duane played 7 seasons here in Sacramento, also 4 in Miami, 11-year NBA vet. Duane, when I look at the time you played, the era you played, I'm thinking about all the great big men you had to go against, whether it was Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, like every team, Shaq. You know, like you got Shaq coming up. Nowadays, you don't got many big men like that. What was it like during that era, knowing you had to prepare on both ends to go against those guys?
I mean, it was especially on the West Coast. It was somebody every night that you had to play against. You know, you had David Robinson, had Hakeem Olajuwon, you had Mark Eaton in Utah. You know, and those, like I tell everyone, but I was 7 feet, but I wasn't as big as those guys. So all I could do was really just try to run them, just try to keep running the whole time while we was playing. But in those days, like you say, it was always a center every night in the Western Conference. It was just like it was a tough conference that we played in. I mean, you had the Lakers, you had the Supersonics, you had and the Clippers. Everyone don't realize how good the Clippers was back in those days. They might not have, they won they didn't go too many playoffs. They went to the playoffs every year, but they was a tough team. They had everybody from top to 12th man. They was always talented. So it was just like a big, in the West Coast, it was just like a tough conference. It was real tough. And then, you know, when I was there, when we was playing them, and we had Shaq, first thing Saint would just say, Kazi, you got them all to yourself. So no help, no nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks a lot, Saint. Just make me be on the highlight tape. So yeah, now it's like we're like the dying breed of dinosaurs. You don't really see a seven. But we play. I think I was talking to my son. I said when we played that way, the way the guys played it, I don't think the game would have came so far that way because at that time they didn't want you to be just shooting jump shots. I mean, a lot of big men got a lot of bad rap for shooting jump shots back in those days. You know, but it's a different time now, and you know, congratulations to the OKC. I mean, I think about like, man, that should be Sacramento. That should be, you know, they came in, they under us. Everybody say all the fans out there, but I still give Sac the edge on that one. But congratulations to them. Like they said, they're a young team, a young city that just got there, and they remind me of Sacramento. So I was happy for them.
Joined by the Causinator, Duane Causwell. It's interesting, Duane, that you speak on that because you can definitely hear the passion and the love that you have for the city of Sacramento and the organization. How close do you keep your eye on the Kings and what they're doing?
Oh man, we stay. I think on the on Facebook, or a lot of people don't even know it's me, but like we got like a Kings Nation or something like that.
Oh man, don't talk about your burner. Keep it under. Keep it low profile, baby.
So, you know, I keep up with it with everything, you know. So like I think that you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. You know, like I said, we're keeping an eye on it. I always keep watching them. They're young, so they right there. You know, so they made a couple of changes. So we're going to see how everything turns out this year.
Duane Causwell, yeah.
Next week, so I know that's going to be a big thing there.
Yes, sir. Duane Causwell joining us. Duane, all right, so 7 seasons here in Sacramento, then you go to Miami. What was that transition like, man? Because like you said, things close up at 10 here. Miami, they don't start popping till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but when you had to practice, you ain't want to be. I never, like I said, you never knew you had how good you had it until you go somewhere else, man. I mean, we had the practice was at 11. You had to get there at 9:30 because the starters, if you're late and they on the table, the starters could bump you off, and then they can go like you get fined. You know what I mean? So it was different type of things there in Miami. And then, like I say, Rao, we were just talking about some of the stuff that he used to do just the other day. I'm like, with the easy runs, it was a boot camp. It was strictly, you thought it was a boot camp, but you know, he had you prepared. We was always prepared for games, and we won a lot. We won a lot of games. I mean, we won the Eastern Division a couple of times, but it just wasn't. It was more business-like in Miami. Put it that way. Like we all knew what we were there. In Sacramento, we was there to win also, but at the same time, we enjoyed. We had black tie dinner. We did a lot of fun things in Sac. In Miami, it was one thing and one thing only. We was there to win. It wasn't there to do all the fanfare. The Rouse made it pretty much known. So that's it was like more of that business type of organization right there. Practicing. Remember when we had the strike season? Then we had the back-to-back game. Yeah, 3 games back-to-back that year. Would you believe we still went and practiced the next day?
Wow.
I'm like, in Sac, I was like, yo, we used to get, after back-to-back, we get a day off. Not here, man. Not in Miami.
Come on out, man. Hey, listen, we got a Mai Tai sitting on the side, but you got to come to practice.
None of that. And believe it or not, if we all did go to South Beach, we having a drink, because we right there by Miami Arena, we might stop. We all let's go have a drink or whatever, or sit on the beach. Here come Rouse driving around in his little black undercover car. As soon as he sees us, he starts pointing to us like, hell, gonna be hell of a
Wow. Hey, Kaz, you talked about some of the your rookie class that you bought with L Train, Anthony Bonner, T Mays. Besides those guys, is there another teammate that you just you highly respected and have come to realize the real brotherhood?
Someone that I came close to?
Yes.
While playing?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a few. Like I say, believe it or not, when we you know how it was when we all played. It was like always. It wasn't like as a friendship as it was now.
True.
Some guys still don't speak. Some guys still don't talk to each other right now with some of the battles that we all used to have. So, but like you say, I got more close to the guys since we've been at the retired players. We all now respect what we did, and we'll come back, we talk, we have fun about it, we laugh about it, and now we just enjoy it. Now we just move on. Then lost so many, so when you lose those guys that you came in that you battled with, it takes something away. So, like when we lost the Kende, we lost Sean Rooks and Wayman. When you lose these guys, it's like a part of you gone with them, So when we see each other, we all try to just really just enjoy each other while we're there. But like I say, the guys that I'm still close with the our teammates. I'm real more closer to the Sacramento guys. I still talk to my Temple University brothers. We still close, and pretty much that's pretty much all of it. A lot of guys are like I said, we're getting older now. Like we used to all go to the All-Star game, but now we don't go to the game. You got to pay for those tickets now.
Disrespectful.
But it's like I say, it's a good camaraderie. Like when we see each other, we just it's a good respect. We believe it or not, guys, like I used to like with Alonzo. Alonzo was a guy before I got to Miami. Really didn't know him, but Alonzo was just like pure business. And we used to call him Debo. We used to call him Debo because he was always, he was always serious, always, or he was by himself. And it took me a minute to get to him, but by my second year, I kind of realized who he was. And I got to give him much respect, man. Lonzo used to be hurting so much, his knees and stuff, but he would still go out there and still give it 100%. And you wouldn't even know that he was hurting, So I give him a lot. His kidneys got messed up. I used to just tell him, I was like, yo, big fella, why don't you just take the day off with this? Nah, let's just go on. He would never let Rouse make him quit. Like he would never take a day off, even though he would have surgery. So when we get surgery, they tell us 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's usually about 12 weeks. Alonzo would be back at 6 to 8 weeks. He wouldn't miss no more than that. I'm like, wow, my goodness. But, you know, he was one guy that I really did come to really respect. I mean, he loved the game. And he, like I said, he really took the game real serious.
No surprise that him and Riles working together now then, right? No surprise to see that.
Not a surprise at all.
Our guy, Duane Causwell. Duane, we got to get you back on, man, because I got so many questions and stories. I want to hear about Coach Chaney's 5 a.m. practices and 6 a.m. practices and everything. We're going to have to do a part 2, man. We're going to have to do a part 2 coming up, man. Yes, sir. I want to ask about that tournament game against Duke. Temple was the #1 seed back then. You got to understand, Jay, I'm from Philly. We were riding with these guys. So this is an honor, man.
He don't let us forget it. Every time we see him, he don't let us forget it.
All right, my man, Duane Causwell, Kings legend. Appreciate you, man. We're going to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you, guys. You guys enjoyed it.
All right. Duane Causwell, center for your Sacramento Kings for 7 seasons, also played in Miami for 4 seasons. When we come back, we're going to get to the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Kings fans, this is your radio station. What do you want to see from the Kings this upcoming season? Not this week, not next week, not the off season. What's acceptable, Kings fans, this upcoming season? We're going to get to your phone calls and more. It's The Drive, guys, here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you